Are you a central midfielder that loves to not only attack but also help defend?
Match. It's like UFC. Someone tell him the rules.
Or maybe you are a midfielder that desires to have more of a physical presence on the pitch. If this sounds like you, get ready to take some notes because today I'm going to be showing you the best possible tall midfielder build in FIFA 23 Pro Clubs.
And Bellingham.
He's done it again! Come on!
Let's start with the perks. The first perk you are going to want to select is Ball Winner. The Ball Winner perk will boost your tackling ability when you are close to the dribbler. This perk is brilliant for any central midfield build as you will be expected to play box to box, provide great defensive support and cover for your team. For the second perk, you are going to want to equip the Chase Down perk. Incredibly overpowered is pretty much the best thing I can say to describe this perk. This perk will give your player an insane temporary speed boost, which activates when your team loses possession. This is so useful for tracking back and chasing down the opponent's attackers. Last but not least, go ahead and select the Physical Strength perk. This perk will increase your player's strength, ball control and jumping. When jostling, shielding or heading the ball, you can just shove and bully players off the ball effortlessly. And with the boosted jumping and heading, I win so many 50-50 aerial duels, which is super important for not only attacking but defending. Moving on to the player profile, set your player position to centre mid. As we are playing with a tall build, some of our attributes will not be as good as a smaller build. This is why we have selected a low weight to counter this. The low weight will allow us to still have some pace and agility. I find these settings to be perfectly balanced. Playing as a central midfielder in a top team, you will be expected to be directly involved in both the attack and defense. Finding and running into open space so that you are always available as a passing option for your attackers to retain possession is one of the key roles for a central midfielder. Providing direct chances with long and short through balls in behind the defence is something that your strikers will rely on from you. Moving on from the attacking aspect, you will also be required to provide constant off-the-ball defensive support, such as covering passing lanes, pressing the opposition and tracking runs. For this reason, you are going to definitely want to completely max out your stamina. 95 stamina is a fantastic amount. If your stamina is too low, you will find that later in the game, your player's pace will be far less effective. This would be extremely detrimental to your team as you would not be able to cover as much ground or keep up with the pace of the game. Increasing your reactions is also wise. This will allow your player to get his body and foot into the correct position of any loose ball that comes your way. For example, when your opponent takes an unexpectedly poor first touch, or when your opponent takes a shot and it is blocked. Both of these scenarios will leave the ball open to be possessed, so having high reactions will give your player the advantage and ability to react quicker and get to the ball before your opponent does. For your strength, we are also going to want to max this out all the way to 89. This will allow you to shrug off any opposing player that is trying to win the ball from you. It will also give you the ability to bully and dispossess those small, pacey strikers off of the ball. Providing defensive support is necessary when playing in central midfield. You are going to want to make sure you have the Guardian archetype. This will increase your interceptions, defensive awareness and standing tackle. I personally believe that a great central midfielder should be incredibly versatile. This build has everything. It is equally great at both attacking and defending. Moving on to dribbling, you are going to want to completely max out your agility to 85. Personally, I believe that 85 agility is more than enough. Having this much while also being 6'6" is phenomenal. This will allow you to move and turn reasonably quickly. This is extremely important for a central midfielder, as playing in the middle you will have a lot less space compared to being on the wing. Moving on to ball control, the higher the value, the less likely the ball is to bounce away from your player after controlling it. I find 87 ball control to be more than enough for a central midfielder. midfielder. Your first touch will consistently be very good. Ball control also influences how well your player can keep possession of the ball when the opponent tackles. For your dribbling, a higher value means your player will be able to keep the ball closer to their feet when moving. Anything above 85 dribbling is a great amount to have, especially for a tall build. This will help you keep better possession of the ball whilst dribbling because you will keep the ball much closer to your feet, making it harder for your opponent to dispossess you. This build also has 4-star skill moves, so you will have the ability to execute most of the most popular skill moves, such as ball rolls, step overs, McGeady spins and rainbow flicks. Now for arguably the most important skill tree for a central midfielder, the passing attributes. Vision ranks your player's awareness of the position of his teammates and opponents around him. The better the vision attribute, the wider your player will be able to see in order to locate his teammates. Therefore, the chances of a successful pass are higher. In my opinion, this is the most important passing attribute for any central midfielder, so upgrade this all the way to 89. Anything above 85 is more than enough for a central midfielder. Moving on to long passing, I found 86 long passing to be more than enough for this build. I never really failed any passes due to my lack of long passing. Having your short passing at 88 will allow you to consistently play some great passes to your strikers or central attacking midfielders. I personally believe any higher than 90 for short passing is overkill for a central midfielder. Moving on to shooting, you are going to want to increase your finishing to 82. This will make your player finish most goal scoring chances consistently in the penalty area. Do not disregard finishing because you are playing further back. If you are playing in a top team, you will have chances to score, so it is important that you have a reasonable amount of finishing to take those chances. This build also comes with 5-star weak foot, which in my opinion is non-negotiable. I have seen many central midfield build videos on YouTube that do not have 5-star weak foot because they believe you only need a good weak foot if you are playing further forward. That is absolutely nonsense, guys. I was using my weak foot all of the time to successfully play some intricate passes and score some difficult goals that I believe would not have been possible with even 4-star weak foot. Last but not least, we have the pace skill tree. Pace is so important this year, especially against the very best opponents. For a central midfielder, you are going to be playing box to box, so it is important that you can cover ground as quickly as possible, so it is best advised to max out the pace skill tree. 88 acceleration with 88 sprint speed is fantastic for such a tall physical build. Do not forget that the chase down perk will also give you an insane sprint boost when possession is handed to your opponent, so if you are going forward and your team loses the ball, you will be able to track and recover into a more defensive position very quickly. For the running style, I like to go with the buzz. I have used this running animation for most of the year, but this is just personal preference, of course. You can choose any that suits you. If you have enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. This is completely up to you, of course. But anyway, this is going to be all from me today, guys, so take it easy.
Sterling. Luke Shaw's delivery and Bellingham is there!
Ice in the fucking veins, mate! Fucking have that, you cunt! Send that to your fucking friends! Out fucking played. Out fucking played.